Good morning to everyone. Once again, I welcome to my geography class. In this class, we are going to see the fifth presentation of the chapter number 4 here. So I welcome you all. Have a notebook and a pen to write it down the important points which we are going to see in this presentation. So let's move. Today's our topic of discussion is cyclone and moisture. That is from the chapter number 4 and that is the topic number 5. So we have sliced the whole chapter number 4 into the 6th segment. In that now we are on the 5th part. We are seeing the last part of our chapter, cyclone and moisture. So before moving this, I will show you what is cyclone and what are the effects of cyclone. First, we are going to have a discussion on what is cyclone. So, when you are hearing news, so every time you are hearing the news, Orissa, then West Bengal, then Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, these states are affected by cyclone. If we are talking about our India's western side or eastern side, so in western side also if we are watching, so if we will see there, so Gujarat, Maharashtra, so we are thinking about if the cyclone will come, what will happen to us. So if we are talking about eastern side, so from that side if cyclone will come, what will happen to us. So the people, those who are living over there, they are always in the miserable situation when these kind of natural calamities are coming. So these natural disasters are there. So one of the natural disaster is earthquake. We have seen like that. We are going to see cyclone. Okay. What is cyclone? So cyclone is a natural disaster, right? In that the wind system, the air circulation is moving into anti-clockwise or into clockwise, and in that heavy rainfall will be there, huge storm will be there, tornado will be there, and they are destroying each and everything. They are going to disturb our total livelihood. So we are going to have an example on such situation. We are going to pick up one case study which is given in your textbook. First, in a meteorology, a cyclone refers to any low pressure area with a wind spiraling inwards. So the winds are spiraling inwards only, any low pressure area with winds. Cyclone rotate clockwise in the southern hemisphere and anti-clockwise in northern hemisphere. So to see it, we are going to have one photograph which make you clear how the cyclone looks. So this is cyclone, right? Sometimes when you are taking a glass of a juice, so when your mother is preparing, if you are rotating a spoon in that, so you are seeing the water is moving like that, downward, inward, right? So like that, the cyclone is here. This is one type of natural disaster. First, we are going to see, I request all the students, that is from the textbook only, destruction caused by a cyclone. As I am speaking to you, it's a natural disaster and causing a mass level destruction, right? So destruction caused by cyclone. Every time Orissa is suffered with that. So Orissa, located on the eastern sea coast of the India, is prone to cyclone that originate in Bay of Bengal. So in our India, cyclone are originating into two seas. First one is the Bay of Bengal. Second side, if we are moving in the western side, Arabian Sea. So they are very, very harmful. See the condition here. On 17-18 October 1990, cyclone hit 5 districts of the state, and another super cyclone occurred on 29 October 1999 and devastated large portion of the state. The damage caused were mainly due to these three factors: wind velocity, rain and the tidal surge. This means go up to 260 kilometer per hour. Latest lasted forever 36 hours. So see how the wind system is bringing this cyclone, and cyclone is creating a very vast destruction. They are very harmful. Crops are destroyed, houses are destroyed, even the air comes upper side is going, that is also going to be blown away by this wind system. Heavy rainfall will be there, storm will be there, trees are going to be uprooted. So much of destruction is there. So in newspaper you are hearing every year about the cyclone. So that is for your homework. You have to read this and you have to make your, you have to be enriched in this topic cyclone. In the textbook it is given on the page number 25. Page number 25, cyclone here, and rest of the part is here. So you have to read it. Today your homework is that you have to read it and you have to make your knowledge to be more aware about what is cyclone, right? And this whole story will tell you about how the destruction caused by cyclone and how the peoples are suffering at a large scale. Okay? See. The last line I am reading for you. The mangrove forest between Paradip and Kunar vanished. Totally vanished. So see, a huge destruction caused by cyclone. These are the natural calamities and we have to make our knowledge to be high for this level so we can understand about that if this type of cyclone and will come, what are the safety measures for it. Next, moving towards our topic of discussion, moisture. So moisture, when water evaporates from the land and different water bodies, it becomes water vapor. Water is going to be evaporate. So when you are studying water cycle, at that time you already know about that what is water vapor. In simple language, when your mother is serving you food, at that time when the hot in your palate, the hot food is served, so the waves are coming, the steams are coming. That is water, right? So when water evaporates from the land and different water body, it becomes water vapor. Moisture in the air at any time is known as humidity. So here we are seeing the 2 points. First we are seeing evaporation, then the evaporation moving into the air. That moisture is in the air at any time is called as humidity. When the air is full of water vapor, it is called as humidity. As the air gets warmer, its capacity to hold the water vapor increase, and so it becomes more and more humid. And on the humid day, what's going to happen? Clothes are going to take too much time for drying purpose, right? So on a humid day, clothes take longer and dry. Sweat from our body does not evaporate easily, making us to feel very Next, when the water vapor rises, it starts cooling. It's going to be rising, it's going to be cooling. The water vapor condenses, causing formation of the droplets of the water. If you are seen at your home, right? So in any utensil, if you are boiling water and if you are closing that particular utensil from the top, after some time if you are opening, so water vapor you are seeing, if it's going to be cooled down, so small droplets are on that particular cover on that plate. So this phenomena already you are knowing about that. We are going to see about the condensation, evaporation, all you have studied in water cycle. So all this concept once again we are discussing here. So clouds are just masses of such water droplets. So what are clouds? They are just the masses of such water droplets. And when these droplets of water become into heavy to float into the air, then they come down as a precipitation. And when precipitation in the liquid form it is coming, that is called rainfall. Next, jet plane flying in the sky leave a white trail. So behind them, and the reason why, the moisture from their engine condense, and that's why when the jet plane is going, white tail is appearing. So we see the trail of the condensed moisture for some time when there is no air movement to disturb it. As we are seeing, the rocket is going on, so the white tail you are looking, that rocket or aeroplane already moved, but the tail is there. That's one of the examples. Then next, precipitation that comes down to the earth in liquid form is called as rain. So what is rain? That the precipitation coming down to the earth in the liquid form, that is called as rain. Most of the groundwater comes from the rainwater. Plant help preserve water, right? So here the groundwater level is increased by the rainfall only, and plants help preserve water. So the plants again is very important, because of the trees and plants the rain is possible. Next, when trees on the hillsides are cut, rainwater flow down and reach mountains and can cause flooding of low-lying areas. So the low-lying areas is going to be there. What is going to happen to them? They are going to be have a flooding over there. Because of what? Because of the rainfall. Next, on the basis of mechanism of this moisture. So this moisture converting into precipitation, precipitation into rainfall. There are the three types of rainfall. So 1, 2, 3. So here in the figure number 4.5 we are going to see the three types of rainfall. First, the conventional rainfall. Second, the orographic rainfall. Third, cyclonic rainfall. So let's see with the help of the photograph what is the conventional, what is orographic, and what is cyclonic rainfall. First, cyclonic rainfall. Here you are seeing the two arrows. Here the cold air, here the warm air. When the cold and the warm air mixed up, then the warm air is moving into upward direction. So that is called as cyclonic rainfall. Okay? With the example only, this photograph is the best example to show you about the cyclonic rainfall. Next, orographic rainfall is also called as relief rainfall. When the clouds, they are moving up to the level of the mountains, and thus they are dashing to the mountain. So the moist air and the rainfall is going to be there. So that rainfall is going to be called as relief rainfall or orographic rainfall, because that rainfall is called due to this relief features. The next, conventional rainfall. You are seeing here the warm air with the arrows, they are showing the warm air is moving upward, right at the top, and with that particular condition, when the rainfall occurs, that type of rainfall is called as conventional rainfall. Then we are moving to see the next point. Rainfall is very important for the survival of plants and animals. Yes, it's common. Without rainfall, we will not have a single drop of water, right? So rainfall is very important. It brings the fresh water to the earth surface. If rainfall is less, water scarcity will be there, and the drought occurs. On the other hand, if it is more, floods take place. So here the point is speaking about, if water is not going to be there, water scarcity will be there, and it will occur drought also, right? If it is going to be more also, what will happen? The flood situation can be there. So here water is very important to us, and water is coming from where? From where? Rainfall. So this water scarcity means to be the lack of water or the absence of water, or in a less amount, in the less quantity, the water is available at particular place, that is called as water scarcity. Right? Drought means to be totally there is a absence of water. There will be no water at all. Okay? So here we have finished the chapter here. We are going to see now the overview. Please copy down the overview, which is very important. First overview, moisture. Please copy down this. Moisture. Moisture in the air is known as humidity. Moisture in air is known as humidity. Humidity in the air is higher if the temperature of the place is higher. There are more water bodies. When the moisture in the atmosphere increase, it starts condensing in the upper atmosphere. This condensed water then comes down as a precipitation in the form of rainfall. The next precipitation, and it's having a three type: conventional, orographic or relief, and cyclone. And the last topic which we have seen here, the rainfall is very important for the survival of the plants and animals. If it is rain is less, we are going to suffer with the problem of water scarcity. If it is going to be more, we are going to have floods. Your today homework is figure number 4.5. You have to draw in your notebook. This one. Figure number 4.5. Types of rainfall. 1, 2, 3. You have to draw in your notebook and you have to write the name. Cyclonic rainfall, relief rainfall, or conventional rainfall. These three are your today's homework. You have to draw and label the diagram of three types of rainfall or types of rainfall. Okay? This diagram from figure 4.5. Then second, this one, relief rainfall, and third, conventional rainfall. Figure number 4.5, types of rainfall, is your homework to draw in your notebook. Then here our chapter is ended. Our chapter end, finished, over. Plus I want to do the recapitulation only within the 1 minute for you. We started the chapter number 4 here. In that we have seen what is atmosphere. After seeing what is atmosphere, we have seen the composition of atmosphere. After that, we have seen the structure of atmosphere. What is the structure? What are the layers of atmosphere we have seen? After that, we have seen the particular concept of weather and climate. After that, we have seen the air pressure and the wind system. After that, we have seen the cyclone, natural disaster. I had given the case study also for you to understand how the mass destruction will be there from the cyclone. The last topic we had seen the moisture. In that we had seen today the types of rainfall and how the rainfall is very, very important to us. So after that, in the upcoming presentation, we are going to have a discussion on the question and answer. Please read the chapter properly once again. If you are having any doubt and difficulty, please let me know. And today's homework is that you have to draw the diagram of the types of rainfall. Thank you to each and everyone for watching this video. I am so happy by seeing your all progress. Students are commenting so many messages to me. and they are texting number of message by the concept the nicely cleared. If still any doubt will be there, I am happy to know that, and plus do your homework very properly. Thanking once again to everyone. Jai Hind.